Hello and welcome to my first video. For the first video I decided that I should do a short tour of my layout. It is a 3 foot by 5 foot N-scale layout that runs on Unitrack. It's set in the 40s through the 60s, somewhere in the Rockies, probably like New Mexico or Colorado. But I do have some rolling stock, like some Southern Pacific engines and stuff, that will make it to where, it could be seen as California, but the location doesn't really matter too much to me. It's all about the trains I run. So, let's start with underneath the layout. It is on a single board, 3 foot by 5 foot, and holding this up is 3 sets of legs. So these legs are fence posting that I cut to a certain length. I don't have the layout too high, that way children or family can come and see it really well, or children in the family, I guess. I have these posts, or not posts, boards running from each legs, and I have 3 of those. It's not too much support, but it doesn't need very much support in the first place because I don't have very much weight on top. I have some wires going to the control panel. I'll show you that in a moment, but I didn't want to drill too much in it because it just makes a really big mess everywhere. So most of the wires go in through this one hole, but some of the track wires do go off over here, and then some power to the buildings. The panel has 2 DC power packs, these Kato switch machines, and then a Woodland Scenic switch for the lights to the buildings. The buildings I have are this model power station that I painted myself to look kind of like a Southern Pacific station. The colors aren't exactly right, but it's close enough. I have a, what is it? Brookside Ice House by JL Innovative. And that, of course, has the Woodland Scenic lights. And it's supposed to come with this office, but I lost it. So I replaced it with a shed from Woodland Scenics. And I have lighting in that. I also have this Woodland Scenics. There's a lot of Woodland Scenics on this layout. This Woodland Scenics O'Leary Dairy Distribution building. It's still in work in progress, but it's coming along nicely. The dried transfer decals are really nice. Really enjoy those. I also have this micro engineering poor boy mine over here. It's a work in progress as well, but it's coming along. The paints I'm using for the base is acrylic paint. I've seen a lot of people use latex, but just acrylic is cheaper, and I didn't see really a point in using latex, so I just put acrylic down. The grass is Woodland Scenics. The rock molds are all Woodland Scenics as well. There's a lot of Woodland Scenics on this, but that's the reason I chose Woodland Scenics is just because the ease of it. There's a lot of supply available in my area of Woodland Scenics, and pretty much almost nothing else, or nothing that I liked, I guess. The trees are not Woodland Scenics. They aren't the most realistic, and they're a little bit small, but I got them kind of in bulk, and they're made by this German company I'm not sure how you pronounce it, but there you go. And they come in a big old pack. The talus I use, like here. The talus I used is Woodland Scenics, but I painted it myself. Originally it came as like a khaki color, but using water and acrylic paint, I was able to color it more to the rocks on my layout, the rock faces. I have a Sherman tank, just because, but and a Millennium Falcon as well, just because. But the Millennium Falcon isn't to scale; it's a little bit too small. But if I hang it above the layout, maybe it'll look like it's flying in the distance. Yeah. The track itself is Kato. All the track is Kato. The inner radius is 12 3/8 inch, and the outer radius is 13 3/4. Originally there was going to be the 11 and the 12, but one of my engines was not happy with either of these radiuses. It could make the inside, but I just went to a radius wider and it happily runs on that. That engine is the old tooling of the Kato Daylight, and it's one of my favorite engines, so I wanted to make sure it runs happily. It's also a bit at a wonk. It's not exactly in line with the table, which I did on purpose. The reason it's at a wonk is because if it's in line with the table, it looks a little hokey, it looks a little toyish. So by having it at this angle, it gives a little bit of a sense of realism, like the track is not following the line of the table. Also, it gives a little bit more space for, say, the station and this little hill over here. So yeah, that's pretty much the layout that I have. So, oh yeah, hold on. I have this river scene that's a work in progress. I'll have some videos on me continuing to make this and the rest of the layout soon. I have these little culverts right here made by Woodland Scenics. I didn't find any bridge pieces that I quite liked and were the right radius, and I didn't want to make any because I'm still new at this. This is my first layout. So I made it look like the railroad came in and just filled it in with dirt, and to allow the creek to keep running, they just put these little culverts in, which for a constantly running creek, I don't know how realistic that is, but it looks believable, so good enough. But yeah, some more Woodland Scenics rock faces. But yeah, that's the layout. I'll have some more videos up soon of how I do things. I'm never going to have a how-to video because, again, I am new at this, and there's many different ways to do the same thing and get different results. So it's a how I video. So it's how I do things, not how you're supposed to. Because a lot of the things I do aren't always right. They just work. So, or at least what most people say are right. But that's the video. Thanks for watching.